What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Saturday, the 9th of May, 2015. As always, the first link below will take you to the Blogspot post where you can find all these links to all this madness. Another week of madness indeed. Let's start off with plane crashes. Atlanta plane crash, 4 dead on a crash on the I-285. Plane comes down on the highway. Craziness. We also had a train derailment. RT is calling it the bomb train. Derails in North Dakota. Explosive forces village evacuation. This came out May 6th. So another oil train derailment and large explosion. Go figure. Other news going on. Former FBI agent accused of violent threats to the CIA. What? To get psychological exam. Or does she know something? Or he knows something? Whatever happened to Special Agent Stephen Ivins out in L.A. anyway? Went into the woods and shot himself, right? U.S. lowers fluoride recommendations in the water for the first time. Were conspiracy theorists right? The movie Conspiracy Theory, right at the beginning. What's Mel Gibson talking about? Fluoride in the water. I'll give you this link from Tech Times. Check it out. American doctor. We got Ebola news this week. American doctor declared free of Ebola. Finds the virus in his eye months later. In the eye months later. Be advised from CNN. We got count on two, I guess, local media report here. Fort Myers man contracts flesh-eating bacteria. Loses leg. Be advised if you're in the Fort Myers, Florida area, you want to know about that. They got a picture of the ocean. Not sure if it happened in the ocean, but I'll put a link to it. Scientists find alarming deterioration in DNA of the urban poor. This from HuffPost Politics on the 8th of May. Is that just part of the agenda? You know, out of that, do we get stuff like this? Black Panther leader announces plans to bomb nurseries to kill white babies. May 7, 2015. Gee, would that be considered domestic terrorism? FBI? Maybe you want to look into that? One more in the general bin, actually two more. Exceptional NYPD officer dies from gunshot wound to the head. You know, this was a big to-do the other day. They had this funeral for this officer who was killed. You know, but national news, that was on every channel. You know what wasn't on every channel? Family says man died of self-inflicted gunshot wound in Pulaski incident this morning. This veteran who had PTSD, a former Marine, was at his storage locker that he goes to help him unwind. I guess he goes out to check on his storage locker, whatever. Cop pulls up. You know, something ensues, and the guy says, frick it, what do I have to live for? He just kills himself. At least that's the official story. They got a video, his family talking about the man that he was and the problems that he had. Why is there no national coverage of this? I've been accused of not supporting the military because I'm supposedly anti-Jade Helm 15, which I am. I don't support the military yet. I bet the person who accused me of that doesn't even know about this veteran who just took his own life. Why are we not doing something about this problem? No money in the budget for that. Over to financial news. Speaking of money, how the Dow Jones did on Friday. Looks like it was up 267, closed the week at 18,191 on strong jobs report. That'll be the second link. Actually, the second link will be Swiss stock market collapses instantaneously on 5th anniversary of flash crash. This come out 5/6. I don't know about that from Zero Hedge. Now the job news. Good news. U.S. economy adds 223,000 jobs. It's a jobless recovery. That from CNN Money. Meanwhile, not so good for the USPS. Reports $1.5 billion loss. Sorry I'm all wound up. That PTSD story just pisses me off. This police officer gets national coverage, every channel, but no coverage for our veterans taking their lives every day. It's a disgrace. Anyway, I'll put a link to that last story. I don't even know what it was. IRS issues $5.6 billion bogus education credits this May 5 from Hawaii News Now. Don't know what's up with that. Maryland. Now look at this. Speaking of a disgrace, Maryland legislator discusses taking food stamps from parents of protesting youth. Oh, you don't like what the government's doing? Well, we'll just take your food stamps away. You know, this is what happens when you have a nation who's dependent on the government. Look at over in Australia, I think it was, right? Where they'll take your benefits away if you don't vaccinate your children. You think that's not coming to America? 3 million in need of food in Nepal as these people try to recover from this massive quake over there. 7,300 is the official death toll. You know, think about how much aid the United States could give to the people of Nepal if we weren't busy spending billions and billions of dollars killing people around the world. Just something to think about. Put a link to that. My heart goes out to everybody over there. Got a couple more here. Out of Hawaii, homeless encampment nearly doubles in size. Homeless problem in America. Another disgrace. Put a link to that. A couple more. 10 team. Parents, really? Look at this. Now, over in California, there's plenty of money. No money to fix the water shortage, but there's plenty of money for facial recognition. Parents say, really? $63,000 a school is spending on facial recognition biometrics. 10 News, local media. You know, and if you're thinking of homeschooling your children, you say, well, I don't want to deal with all that. Look at this. Police seize 10 children from off-grid homeschool family. Oh, you don't want to force vaccinate your kids? You don't want to participate in biometrics and facial identification? You want to homeschool? Okay, we'll come take your kids away. I didn't read the backstory. Don't need to read the backstory. Not the first time we've seen homeschoolers under attack. Over to New World Order and Police State News. LA police chief concerned about fatal shooting of unarmed man in Venice. Police shoot and kill another unarmed man. What's new? Put a link to that. Family of man out in Hawaii. Why are all these menus popping up? Family of man in Hawaii died in police jail cell, seeks answers. This happened a while back, but this is a new article, May 5th, 2015. Put a link to that. People dying all over the place. Nashville cop caught on video threatening to shoot ex-UT football player decommissioned. May 5th, 2015. They got a video on that. Look at this. Now, this ought to be in the strange bin, but it involves a cop, so I put it in the police state bin. Cops say Maryland police officer bites man's testicles in Baltimore. I don't know. May 6th. I guess it's from the San Francisco Gate. Looks like local media. Surveillance planes. Speaking of Baltimore, FBI surveillance planes were flying over Baltimore. Be advised if you didn't know about that. That's all for your own safety. Meanwhile, speaking of surveillance, St. Louis City Police reveal high-tech real-time crime center. You know, is it to fight crime or is it to enslave people? I'll put a link to it. You can decide. You know, encrypting the city's radio system sure did not cut down on crime at all. In fact, you know, shootings all over the place. We got secret deal could contain a myriad of gun restrictions and ammo bans. This came out May 7 from the Gun Owners of America. Be advised on that. New statute in Germany illustrates just how much the rest of the world opposes U.S. police state. May 5th, 2015 from the Free Thought Project. Got one from We Are Change. Court rules. Now, this was supposedly the good news this week, and I'll try not to go on a long rant about this. Court rules that NSA bulk collection is illegal and must be stopped. Okay, that from We Are Change sounds like good news on the surface, but like Brandon Lee said in The Crow, I see you made your decision. Now let's see you enforce it. Who is going to enforce? Department of Justice? Are you going to Loretta Lynch? Are you going to go over to the FBI, knock on the door, and say, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing? Do you really think it's going to stop? It might go underground, might go secretive for a little. None of that crap is going to stop. No tyrannical government in history has ever given up power willingly. You think they're just going to say, oh, the people are getting pissed, we need to stop because some court said something? Are you kidding me? Let me give you one link just to back that up. Law enforcement increases use of illegal surveillance against citizens. See, because it's not about the NSA anymore. The NSA, you know, that has been going on for decades. They just went public with it when all the Edward Snowden stuff came out. But your local police departments now have just as much spying power. They could listen to your cell phones. They could read your text messages. They got cameras on the back of police cars driving around recording everybody's license plates. This, you know, the law enforcement might not be able to see it. The majority of them, maybe they think they're doing the right thing. They're just doing their job. But you can't tell me that some of them can't see the bigger picture of what they're involved in. You know, Nazi Germany did not happen overnight. It was all kinds of subtle steps that ultimately led up to people walking into ovens. Oh, I'm being an extremist. That would never happen in America. It's already happening. Over to World War III news. Sorry I'm so wound up. This stuff just pisses me off, as it should piss all of you off. ISIS activity prompts threat level increase at U.S. bases. This May 8. Be advised, false flag may be on the works. Jade Helm 15 about to officially ramp up. ISIS potentially thousands of online followers inside the U.S. homeland, says FBI chief. That May 7 from ABC News. They're certainly prepping us for it. U.S. strikes, you know, are there real terrorists in the world? Well, let me tell you this. U.S. strikes miss ISIS kill 52 civilians in Syria. 52 innocent people killed by the United States in Syria. Do you think they're real terrorists in the world? Pakistan helicopter crashes, kills foreign diplomats. This comes out 8 of May from Al Jazeera. Not sure what's up with that or what they knew. Witnesses confirm first Saudi ground troops arrive in Yemen, May 5, 2015, be advised. A couple more here. North Korea supposedly tests ballistic missile underwater. This come out May 9 from CNN. They got a video on that. We got China declares war on Islam. Prayer in mosque outlawed, and all Muslim shopkeepers must sell alcohol or face prosecution. I don't know about that. May 6, 2015, but it is China. One more, speaking of China, 2 Chinese warships enter the Black Sea. And the Earth is rocking in the past week. 7.1 out of Papua New Guinea, 3.7 out of California, 7.5 out of Papua New Guinea. No tsunamis with all this, although there was a little bit of movement in the water. I'll put this link in USGS. Big quakes on the left, small quakes on the right. Had a 4.2 out of Michigan. Another 6.8 out of Papua New Guinea. Here's the quake data. I'll give you a second link from We Are Change. Is the new Madrid fault getting ready to go? Look at this, from Michigan to Texas to Mississippi to California, Idaho, and Washington, all jolted by significant quakes. May 4, 2015. Something's going on. Is it CERN? Are they firing that thing up? Is it making the earth move around? I don't know. HAARP? Who knows? Tornadoes reported from Oklahoma to Kansas to Nebraska this May 6, 2015. It is springtime in America, folks. Meanwhile, be advised, if you're in the Carolinas, you probably already know this, Anna's wind strengthened as storm approaches U.S. coast. Tropical storm coming on shore from Hawaii News Now. Weird underwater volcano may be erupting off the coast of Oregon. This from Life Science on May 1, 2015. I apologize if I'm not saying that right. Somebody corrected me on that once before. But whatever, the news must go on. Emergency 25% cut in California. Cites water use approved. I'll put this link here. 25% cut in California. You know, why are we not spending money turning ocean water into fresh water? Why are we not doing this? Sun unleashes most powerful solar flare of 2015. This May 6 from space.com. Put a link to that. And one more. Confirmed 2.5 mile wide comet headed toward Earth with chilling, hellish mystery sounds and screams. I also heard something about X-Files in the sky. I don't know. This is supposed to be in here. Look at this, right around late September. I know a lot of other people have been talking about late September. I'll put a link to it. What are your thoughts? Over to strange and bizarre news. Be advised, adult content coming up. Let's see. Car drives itself into Springfield Papa John's. Apparently the car drove itself. It is what it is. They got a video on that. Meanwhile, spook dog drives pickup into pool. He wanted to take a swim. That from Hawaii News Now. Not sure where that happened at. Somewhere in America, North Carolina. We got boy, 8 years old, smuggled in suitcase discovered in Spain airport. He went through the. I hope he's all right. He went through the the detector there, and it shot a picture of him. And I hope it didn't give him cancer. Put a link to that. The Price is Right criticized for offering woman in a wheelchair a treadmill. Come on now. That would never happen if Bob Barker was still there. I put a link to that. BuzzFeed News has this. Couple faces 15 years in prison for sex on Florida beach. Okay, yeah, it's inappropriate, but 15 years? I mean, man, kind of steep. 17 million of cocaine accidentally discovered. Accidentally delivered to Aldi stores in Berlin. The Show Me Baby did not steal your cocaine. I'll put a link to this. I got a couple more. Twins. Now I never heard of this happening. Twins have different fathers. Judge finds in paternity case. Apparently, lady got freaky with two different guys and had twins, and the twins belong to different fathers. I mean, have you ever heard about something like that? That's just craziness. And one more. Woman blames divorce on her Facebook obsession. I always said, you want to start a revolution in America, shut off Facebooks and shut off iPhones. People will be in the streets pissed. For all other news, please check my favorite videos. There are just tons of fresh videos over in my favorites. Please pull it up. At least scan over the title. See if there's anything I don't know about. We Are Change has done a lot of work in Baltimore and whatnot. They interviewed Tim Pool. Some good stuff over there. Definitely check it out. Got some shout-outs this week. Shout out to Chuck Norris. Jade Helm 15, Crime Stoppers at Risk. Chuck Norris reminds Americans to never check brains at government's door. Right on. Chuck Norris is standing up. I guess he must be against the military too, huh? Shout out to all of the people in America concerned over Jade Helm 15. Are all these people against the military? They're certainly trying to frame it that way. Caller after caller expresses concern over realistic warfare training with an American landscape. Check it out. It's a C-SPAN video. Thank you to whoever sent me this link. It's 23 minutes long. People are concerned about Jade Helm. You know why? Because we're making enough noise about it. We, the alternative media, are making enough noise about it that the mainstream is being forced to cover it. Good job to everybody. If you so much as shared a link about Jade Helm 15, awesome work. One more shout out while we're talking about possible false flags happening later this year. Shout out to 9/11 Truth. American Institute of Architects and Engineers reconsidered WTC 7 collapse. They got covered by the National Journal. The National Journal for 9/11 Truth. Again, because so many people have spoken out, the mainstream is forced to cover it. Please tell me your thoughts on this week's news. Pick a story. Pick all the stories. Comment on them. I really love reading your guys' comments on this madness. Please rate the video. Please pass it around. Make people aware of current events and what's going on. Craziness, people. Downright craziness. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, because people tell me they don't get my videos when they sub me on YouTube. Follow me on one of those. I put it out in the feed every time I post a video. It's always there. That's all I got, guys. Another week of madness. What's going to come of everything? Jade Helm 15 starting up. We got ISIS supposedly a threat. The first homeland. That's always a word that Hitler used, right? Homeland attack down in Texas supposedly. I don't know how much of that I buy. It's sketchy at best. But tell me your thoughts. You guys take care. Stay safe. Always remain vigilant. These are crazy times. Remain vigilant. Keep an eye on things. Be aware of your surroundings. I will see you guys on the next one.